Sviatoslav the Brave, the defeat of Khazaria, and the campaigns of the prince.
Sviatoslav the Brave was the only son of Prince Iyer of Kiev and Princess Ol. He became the first ruler of the Rurik dynasty in Kiev to bear a Slavic name. At that time, the process of Slavic assimilation among the Varangians in Kiev was becoming stronger. From childhood, Sviatoslav was accustomed to military life and campaigns. When his father Iyer died, Sviatoslav was still very young. According to the chronicles, during one of the early military expeditions he threw a spear toward the enemy, but because of his young age and lack of strength, he accidentally struck his own horse. After Princess Ol accepted Christianity, she tried to persuade her son to do the same. She believed that if the prince adopted the new faith, many others would follow his example. However, Sviatoslav remained devoted to the traditional pagan beliefs and did not change his religion. While Princess Ol governed the state, the young prince gathered his own military retinue. At first, these were training expeditions, but later they became real military campaigns. Chroniclers described Sviatoslav as a brave and honest ruler. Before beginning a war, he often informed his enemies that he was coming, considering such behavior honorable.
The conquest of the Viatici and the defeat of Khazaria.
In the years 964 and 966, Sviatoslav subdued the Viatici tribe and forced it to recognize the authority of Kiev. The Viatici lived in the upper reaches of the Oka River in the territory of present-day Russia. Before Sviatoslav's campaigns, they paid tribute to the Khazar Khaganate. The prince ordered them to stop paying tribute to the Khazars and eventually brought their lands under the authority of Kiev. In the year 965, Sviatoslav captured the capital of the Khazar Khaganate, the city of Itl. After this defeat, the Khazar state effectively ceased to exist. Part of the Khazar nobility and the remaining troops fled toward the lower Volga region. Sviatoslav also captured the fortress of Sarkel on the Don River, which became known as White Tower. For many years, this city remained an important stronghold of the Chivan state. Through his campaigns, Sviatoslav carried out one of the most remarkable military expeditions of his era. He traveled thousands of kilometers, captured numerous fortresses, and defeated several powerful enemies. The destruction of Khazaria opened trade routes to the east and significantly increased the influence of Kiev. The prince also established control over parts of Crimea that had previously belonged to the Khazars. Particularly important were the territories on the Kerch Peninsula, where the Principality of Tmutarakan later emerged. At that time, the population of Crimea included descendants of the Tauri, Scythians, and Sarmatians. Byzantine writers often referred to Sviatoslav's warriors as Scythians or Taurian Scythians.
The Balkan campaigns.
Later, Sviatoslav decided to establish his influence in the Balkans. At that time, the Bulgarian Empire was one of the strongest states in the region. The Byzantine Empire feared Bulgarian power and sought assistance from the Prince of Kiev. Byzantine envoys arrived in Kiev carrying valuable gifts and encouraged Sviatoslav to campaign against Bulgaria. According to the chronicles, he assembled an army that may have numbered around 60,000 warriors. The Bulgarians advanced with an army of approximately 30,000 men. A major battle took place near Dorostelon. Sviatoslav's forces achieved victory, and after the defeat, Tsar Peter of Bulgaria became seriously ill and died shortly afterward. During the Balkan campaign of the year 968, Sviatoslav learned that the Pecheneg had approached Kiev and threatened the city. Around this time, the Byzantine historian Leo the Deacon personally met the prince and described his appearance. He wrote that Sviatoslav wore long mustaches, had a shaved head with a single lock of hair, wore an earring, and dressed in simple white clothing.
War with Byzantium.
After the death of Princess Ol, Sviatoslav divided authority among his sons. Yarapok remained in Kiev, Ola ruled the land of the Drevlians, and the younger son Volodymyr was sent to Novgorod. This young Volodymyr would later become one of the most famous rulers of Kievan Rus. Sviatoslav returned to Bulgaria, which he already considered part of his sphere of influence. However, Byzantium feared the growing power of Kiev in the Balkans. Byzantine rulers persuaded part of the Bulgarian population to oppose the prince. A difficult battle took place near Pereyaslavice. At first, the advantage belonged to the Bulgarians, but after a long struggle Sviatoslav's army won the battle. He regained control of Pereyaslavice and established his authority over much of Bulgaria. Soon afterward, Byzantium openly entered the war. The empire gathered a large army and marched against the prince. According to the chronicle, the warriors of Rus became worried when they saw the size of the enemy forces. Sviatoslav encouraged his soldiers by saying that there was nowhere left to retreat and that they should not disgrace their homeland. His warriors answered that they were ready to die wherever their prince fell. Fierce battles followed between the forces of Rus and Byzantium. Sviatoslav continued his campaign and advanced toward Byzantine territories. The Kievan army crossed the Bulgarian lands and the Balkan mountains. Eventually, Sviatoslav found himself near Dorostalon, where one of the most important battles of his life took place. During the siege, he ordered the city gates to be closed so that no warrior could retreat without permission. The fighting was extremely difficult. Byzantine sources report that thousands of Sviatoslav's soldiers were killed. Despite these heavy losses, his army managed to withstand the siege. In the year 971, a peace treaty was concluded between Sviatoslav and the Byzantine emperor.
The death of Sviatoslav.
After the war, the prince's army was severely weakened. Sviatoslav decided to return to Kiev in order to gather new troops and restore his strength. However, the Byzantines informed the Pecheneg about his return journey. The Pecheneg prepared an ambush near the rapids of the Dnipro River. The prince's army spent the winter at Biloberezia. The chronicle describes severe hunger among the warriors. In the spring of the year 972, Sviatoslav attempted to break through the Pecheneg forces. A decisive battle took place near the Dnipro Rapids against the army of Khan Kuria. During this battle, Prince Sviatoslav was killed. A large part of his retinue died alongside him. Only a small group led by the commander Svenold managed to return to Kiev. According to the chronicle, the Pecheneg later took the prince's skull and made a ceremonial cup decorated with gold.
The historical legacy of Sviatoslav.
Sviatoslav the Brave was one of the most remarkable rulers of the Kievan state. He significantly strengthened the military power of Kiev and increased its prestige among neighboring countries. He destroyed the Khazar Khaganate, which had controlled important trade routes and collected tribute from many Slavic lands for a long time. He also expanded the influence of Kiev into territories that later became part of Central Russia. During his reign, Kiev established control over parts of Crimea for the first time. Although his Balkan campaigns did not produce lasting political results, they demonstrated the strength and military potential of the Kievan state. Contemporaries remembered Sviatoslav as a courageous warrior and a gifted military commander. Many historians note that his appearance and military traditions resemble the later image of the Ukrainian Cossacks. Sviatoslav the Brave left a lasting mark on the history of Kievan Rus and remains one of the best-known rulers of medieval Ukraine.
Dear friends, if you like to study the real history of Ukraine, I would like to ask you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and spread the information. I will be extremely grateful to you for this. I wish you all a good mood health, and inspiration. See you in the next video. Goodbye.